This next topic
It's near and dear to your heart.
is about Stephon Gilmore because the Indianapolis Colts signed Stephon Gilmore, and the original topic to this was, are the Colts favorites to win the AFC South? But we know the answer to that. It's yes.
Oh my
they
God.
are.
Can we stick to the original topic?
But now
Jesus
I want to ask you. I
Christ.
want to ask you guys this:
It's not yes.
are you ready to admit that you are going to be wrong? Look, this is your chance.
Wrong about what?
This is your chance.
It's April.
This is your chance.
Draft
to-
hasn't even happened yet.
It's April.
This is your chance
Stephon Gilmore
to
changes that
rewrite
much.
all of your wrongs, to come back on your opinions and say, you know what? The Colts are actually going to be a real deal.
Here we go. Done.
You got
Because
it?
guys
Done. You
like
got it?
me
Done.
realize
Let's hear
it.
it.
So I want to. Are you ready to take back all the mean things you've been saying about the Indianapolis Colts?
Mean is
such a
I
huge-
want to. I'm genuinely curious.
Question.
I'm genuinely
Now I have an
curious.
honest question. You tell me, who is Matt Ryan's wide receiver 2?
Paris Campbell.
Screwed.
That's it. Done. We can move on. So let's go back to the original topic of, are they going to win the AFC South? Could we?
Well, listen, that's easy. And if you guys don't right your wrongs by the end of my monologue that I'm about to have, I'm going to have a problem with you guys.
They have an
Because-
awesome defense. Congratulations.
It's more than awesome. Now, let me go on to my spiel.
Let's hear this.
The Colts signed Stephon Gilmore to a 2-year, $14 million guaranteed deal with it's $23 million overall. They also signed Riley McLeod. Don't forget about him. Captain on the Eagles last season on their defense. One of the safeties who was injured interchangeable. He's a huge addition in my opinion. Stephon Gilmore said, it was one of those things where it just felt right in my heart to come here, especially with the talent on the team. Watching them after last year, what they did and they were right there. I just wanted to come to Indy and try to help the team get over the hump. And he's going to do just that. He had elite seasons in 2018 and 2019. Torn quad in 2020. Came back in 2021 towards the middle of the season after he was traded from the Patriots to Carolina. He was 7th in coverage this past season,
He was really good.
according to PFF.
Really good.
172 coverage snaps, so it wasn't a huge sample size. 80.7 passer rating allowed. 8 games, 3 starts. And he's even admitted that his quadriceps, it was lingering in 2021. So he wasn't even fully healthy. So he's about to be fully healthy. You're bringing a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year to Gus Bradley's defense. A guy who, you know, you mentioned when we talked about the coach the last time that, oh, they lost Matt Eberflus. Well, they gained Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley is a respective defensive mind in the NFL. Going to shift to more cover 3 now. But now he's evolved his scheme throughout the years. He was a defensive coordinator for the Raiders last season. Despite them not having the best personnel in the secondary, Gus Bradley made it work with his scheme. Now you have, these are just the additions to the Colts. Yannick Ngakoue, Stephon Gilmore, Matt Ryan. They got picks back when they traded Wentz. They outside of the first round, they have a pick in every single round in this draft.
They had pick 42, right? I'm pretty sure.
And the Colts trio of Stephon Gilmore, Darius Leonard, and DeForest Buckner since 2018 have had a top 25 PFF grade. Only trio in the NFL to have that. Now, you mentioned it. They have a great defense. I mean, last year they had the most Pro Bowlers and missed the playoffs. It's ridiculous. They're going to have an elite defense. They're going to have an elite defense this year. You keep mentioning me this thing about not having this wide receiver outside of Michael
Second most
Pittman.
important position
It's
in
a
the NFL.
valid
And
argument.
listen, I agree to an extent, but teams have shown in the past that you can win if you have an elite defense and an elite running game. And that's what the Colts have.
Can we go through the teams?
I'll give you an example. And
Okay.
you do this thing, Joel.
No, stop it. We did it last show, and I told you that it's a thing.
What?
Running backs can lead to winning.
No, but I want to hear the teams.
Okay, I'm just going to name this one example.
Broncos.
And you do this thing, Joel, where You won multiple, man. You can't have it all. I'll give you one. 49ers in 2019.
Kyle Shanahan.
Listen, let me keep explaining.
Kittle.
Let me keep explaining.
Okay.
That season.
Why are we blaming that on him though? Like, why situation? Why is that? Not,
Okay,
like,
before you go, Drew, let me just.
Why are we
finish
holding
this.
that against the running back? Because he has.
This isn't about the running back.
But you're saying he said Kyle Shanahan.
No, this isn't about
sorry,
that.
you said San Fran. You said Kyle Shanahan, George Kittle.
Because I don't think their coaching offensively is anywhere near Kyle Shanahan's.
But he's saying San Fran. They won, or they had success at least.
I know they had probably the best offensive coach in the NFL.
Okay, let me just keep finishing. Frank Reich is not Kyle Shanahan.
Not close.
Frank Reich is still a great offensive coach in the NFL. He's the same coach that has produced top 10 offenses in back-to-back seasons.
I understand.
Despite having Phillip Rivers and then Carson Wentz and not having an elite offensive receiving option. In 2019 with Phillip Rivers, it was even, in 2020 with Phillip Rivers, it was even worse. Michael Pittman was a rookie.
Bounce round one.
And they had a top 10 offense.
Bounce round one.
But they had a top 10 offense. San Fran in 2019, you're right, they had George Kittle. Raheem Mostert isn't Jonathan Taylor.
No.
The receiving core, until they made that midseason trade for Emmanuel Sanders, it was sorry. The Colts are in a position where, this roster isn't fixed. The Colts are going to be aggressive. Because you want to know why? They now understand they have the guy at the helm who can get it done in Matt Ryan. MVP, future Hall of Famer, led a team to the Super Bowl.
He's like the 8th best quarterback in the AFC.
That's because the quarterbacks in the AFC are stacked.
Yeah, that's an
why.
issue. Wouldn't you say that's an issue for the Colts and Matt Ryan? If they're
Did the best quarterback in the AFC make the Super Bowl this past season?
The best? No.
Oh,
but Burrow's top 5.
Did the second best make it?
No.
Did the third best make it?
I don't know. You tell me.
You thought Burrow was.
It's close,
You
but
thought Burrow was better than Herbert.
You guys don't think he's the third best.
Burrow over
you tell
Herbert.
me.
The third best quarterback in the AFC didn't even make the playoffs, according to you guys.
Yeah, they were a game away.
A top 5 quarterback in the
quarter
AFC
away,
and Lamar
probably.
Jackson didn't make the
got
playoffs.
hurt.
Isn't that
He
interesting
was
though?
injured.
A
What
top
are we
3
talking
quarterback in the AFC didn't make the playoffs.
So what you're telling me is that Matt Ryan can get the better of any quarterback on any single game. Because he can. Because
not
he's an
what we're saying.
MVP.
That's not what we're
He's an
saying
MVP.
at all.
Bro.
He's an MVP. Respect him. Now listen, let me keep going on my
cares?
spiel.
MVP
Let
7
me keep
years
going on my
ago,
spiel.
dude.
How
Where do I
many
come from?
receivers are about to be available from the 2019 class? DK, AJ, Debo.
You're not
They're all
getting AJ.
frustrated.
You're probably not getting DK.
You're not getting AJ, but the Colts have realistic options. Every season, wide receivers become available towards the middle of the year by the trade deadline. The Colts can make a move like that. And we're not even talking about the draft. We're not even talking about the
They have
draft.
to pick 42.
Right now.
They're going to get Jahan Dotson.
Right now. Or they can get George Pickens.
He's not going to be there for you.
Right now, as it currently stands, the Colts are a playoff team. There's no doubt about that. They will easily be in the playoffs. They will have a top 10 defense. They will have a top 10 offense. They will have a top 3 running game, rushing attack in the entire NFL. You have a Colts team now who Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Ngakoue, Okereke, who I love him, man. He's a jet at the linebacker position. Darius Leonard. In secondary, Stephon Gilmore, still one of the better outside corners. Kenny Moore, Pro Bowl slot. Isaiah Rodgers played really well last year. And oh my gosh, please don't sleep on Julian Blackmon. He was injured last year. He had a fantastic rookie season. Don't sleep on Julian Blackmon. He has the potential to be a Pro Bowl safety. I swear he does. The Colts are in position to be one of the best teams in the AFC. And guess what? The two guys they brought in,
Weird hill to die on.
the two guys they brought in, Stephon Gilmore and Matt Ryan, like Lil Baby, they got something to prove. They got something to prove.
That's like Lil Baby and Gunna right there.
And especially Matt Ryan, because you want to be
It's like Ty Gun, Rich
disrespectful.
Homie Quan.
Because you have been nothing but
Respect for Tommy
disrespectful.
Kwan. Come on.
You've been nothing but disrespectful to Matt Ryan since we've ever brought him up on this podcast.
Bro is
It
so
is
above, like,
asinine,
like
a
above
level
average as
of
hell.
disrespect.
You think he's elite? I think
That
he's
you've been-
above average at times.
No, he's a top 13 quarterback at minimum
Oh my
right
God.
now.
Is he better than Kirk Cousins?
They're in the same tier.
Is he better than Derek Carr?
They're in the same tier.
Is he better than Dak?
Yeah, he's better than Dak.
Oh my god.
Absolutely, he's better than Dak.
Stop.
He's better than Dak. Absolutely.
Stop.
He's better than Dak.
Stop.
What has Dak done ever? Nothing.
We're living in 2022.
And
Dak made the playoffs last year.
and I don't understand this by you, Joe.
Please keep going.
I might take this may be an unnecessary shot. I may be pushing the limits a little bit. But it's funny because you have done nothing but disrespect Matt Ryan. Sometimes I go to sleep and clench my fists over it. But yet, when we were on the pod, I asked you, how many Matt Ryan games have you watched this past season? You were like, 0. How can you possibly disrespect that man?
I've seen plenty full Matt Ryan games. Facts. I have seen plenty of Atlanta Falcons games that I do not
How many
have
have
to.
you sit down and watched?
How many
bro?
full Atlanta Falcon games have you sat down and watched?
If you tell me more than 4, you're lying.
I've watched more than 4. I watched Falcons games.
You're lying.
I watched Falcons games.
see the smirk on your face. You're
I watched
lying.
Falcons games.
You're lying.
Why do you think I feel this strongly about it?
Listen,
because I know he's not washed.
I watched Matt Ryan tape too.
I know he's not washed.
I'm not sitting down and watching start to finish Atlanta
I'm
Falcons.
simply not.
Any normal human being's not watching 17 start to finish Falcons games.
I'm not watching 17, but I'm watching more than 4. 4 is not a lot to ask.
It's just a weird hill to die on when you have Matt Ryan, who's at best an above average quarterback in the AFC, when you have the top of the top quarterbacks and you're expecting them to what? Win multiple playoff games? You think they're going to be a top 10 offense defense league? They have to win multiple playoff games if that's the case.
It's possible. Why
No,
can't
it's
they?
not, bro.
Why can't they?
Weren't they just top 10?
They were.
I say why
I think
can't
they
they?
might be 2 years in a row they've been top 10, top 10.
I say why can't they? Because we just saw the Bengals go to the Super Bowl. They're a different team. I understand that. But the Raiders...
The Bengals are electric on offense.
Let me finish. The Raiders gave the Bengals a run for the... It came to the final play between those two teams.
It did.
A Raiders team who... Their offense is not
easy.
near
Well, what do you
the
think?
Colts.
What do you think I've said about the Bengals? I said overall they got lucky this past season. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Still strong team.
All right, and guess what? The Colts can get lucky too. They got
Any
the
team-
horseshoe,
Any team could get lucky. That's why I didn't think the Bengals take was ridiculous.
and
Because every
that's
team
why.
gets
And
lucky if
that's
you go to
why
the
I
Super
think
Bowl.
your take is ridiculous
You know, it's
because
funny. They got the horseshoe, but the Broncos got all 4.
knowing that teams can get lucky and games is all
we can
about
do this
matchups.
about 32 teams.
Yeah.
And games are all about matchups, man. If the Colts face a team in the playoffs who have a bad rushing defense,
Well, we said the
that's
same thing
that's a
about the
great matchup.
Titans and Bengals. We thought it was a terrible matchup for the Bengals.
I picked the
Titans,
Bengals.
The Titans sacked them 9 times
the
and
only
they still
time you
lost.
picked them. So
I picked the
don't get
Bengals.
big. Don't get too big.
Okay, but I picked the Bengals.
Like
and that was
we didn't like
specifically-
the matchups for a lot of the Bengals games against the Chiefs too, and they won. Like matchups are important, but football's random at times.
And because of how random it is, given the Colts roster,
You said they're going to be one of the best teams in the AFC.
yes,
Give me
They're
their
gonna be a top 3 seed.
Give me their seeding.
That's tough.
7 teams make the playoffs. So if they're one of the top teams, they have to be a top 4 seed at bare minimum.
I think it's better for me to just give you the amount of games they're going to win.
No,
Okay,
well,
sure.
you said
Tell
top
me the
teams
record.
in the
They're
East.
gonna
11
in the
wins?
AFC.
Actually, no. I'm going to say they are going to be 12-5.
I'll take the under on 12.
I'll take the
Okay.
under on 12 as well.
The Colts will be 12-5.
All right, what are we throwing on this?
I don't know, my 401k. Like, what do you want?
We can throw anything. I know I'm going to win this bet. I'll be honest. The Colts are going to win 12 games this upcoming season.
Okay, the only way that I see a possibility where the Colts have a successful season without solidifying their wide receiver 2 position, which I'm assuming with that 42nd pick, they're going with a wide receiver. They have to. If they don't, they're out of their minds. If they go into this season with Paris Campbell being their wide receiver 2, the only way they can salvage this is if they turn JT into a wide receiver. Only way. You make him a CMC type or give him a CMC type role in that offense. It's the only way I can see it. JT has good hands. He has the abilities to be a solid running back a solid wide receiver out of the backfield. Because you cannot have Michael Pittman be the only wide receiver on this offense and expect to have success.
And also, the Titans won 11 games while Tannehill had a down year. They were injured all over the place.
Offensive line was horrible.
Yeah.
So why can't the Colts win 12? What's so crazy about that?
Because the Titans are going to come back. They're going to be healthy, and Tannehill's probably not going to have that bad of a season again.
The Colts are a better team than
And
the
Mike
Titans.
Vrabel's a way
yes.
better coach.
Yes, for
The
sure.
Colts are a better team than the Titans.
And you know what's ironic?
They have the better quarterback.
Titans still will find a way to win the division.
Okay.
Speaking
You
of
think that.
Speaking of
It's not gonna
DraftKings,
happen.
I saw last night the Colts are plus 105 to win the division. The Titans are plus 125. So it's neck and neck.
So I
Vegas.
don't understand odds too much. So what's the favorite? Who's
So
the favorite?
basically,
Colts
what
are
happened? Yes.
barely favorites.
They got Stephon Gilmore, and DK said we're going to maximize this opportunity. We're going to make them the
take your
favorites.
bread.
Correct.
And guess what? They're gonna be right. Everybody that bets on the Colts this year is gonna be proven
the
right.
only
12 wins is nuts.
And
that's
I
a
will
lot.
tell
12 is a lot.
you,
The AFC
they
is
have
tough,
Matty
bro.
Ice. They have Matty Ice.
Okay, and again,
That's
they
why they're gonna
need
do it.
a wide receiver too.
They
And
will get a wide
JT
receiver.
needs to have at least 700
I'm
to
telling you,
800
look, if it's
receiving
via,
yards
it can
this
be via
season.
trade. Look, they're gonna get a wide receiver. It's as simple as that.
Like I don't think DK is getting moved. We know
Does
AJ's
Jarvis
not
Landry
going.
move you?
Does Jarvis Landry move you?
It does.
He's
it
a
does.
significant upgrade
He
over
is.
Paris
He is an
Campbell. I'll
upgrade.
tell you
He is
that.
an upgrade.
If it's Landry
And
and
with
Pittman,
Matt
it's not
Ryan,
horrible.
you know what? If they get Jarvis,
Well,
I'm
they should have
intrigued.
signed Jarvis a month ago. Why? Like
Yeah, but
He's weighing out his
no,
options.
but he won 16. He won 16.
Still?
He's nuts.
I don't. Well, I think he's gonna have to come down for
He's
that
nuts.
number.
He's
I don't think he's getting 16.
Like he's looking at 13 max.
At max.
Chris Ballard right here is where he's gonna prove himself. Get a wide receiver. They're gonna get one. I trust in that. Matt, and even with that, I told you guys the record Matt Ryan has when his running back rushes for 100 yards. Matt Ryan is capable of making trash into diamonds. That's what he is.
Such a weird stat though, the 100-yard things. Because if you're winning, you'll be
And
running
did
the
they
ball and
address
you get
the
more
offensive
yards.
line this offseason?
They re-signed their guys. I mean, Mark Glowinski,
They lost-
he was.
He's gone.
Lewinsky.
He went to the
They
Giants.
lost Mark Glowinski, who wasn't a big loss
Agreed.
because he was not good.
was not good.
He was a weakling for them last year. And Eric Fisher, who Matt Pryor, the backup, is better than. So they're going to be fine. Offensive line. That as long as they have,
let's hope.
as long as they have Braden
The
Smith.
Colts are just such a weird
Ryan
team
Kelly,
to like push all of your
and
chips
Quentin
in.
Nelson.
That's the thing, because at 42, they could go offensive line.
I'm not saying
They
Super Bowl.
could.
I'm just saying.
You said one of the best teams in the AFC.
They better be competing for a Super Bowl if
I
they're
mean,
one
you
of the
picked
best
them to
teams.
be your dark horse with Carson Wentz.
Last season, and they were a game away.
That was before Deshaun was a Brown, Russell Wilson was a Bronco, and the Raiders got Devontae Adams.
and the Broncos got Russell Wilson.
that's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Matt Ryan's throwing for 30 touchdowns this year.
Dude, you're nuts.
Trust me.
30 is his max. It's
Trust
the
me.
absolute
He
ceiling.
could throw 30. He could throw 30.
It's
Carson
le-
Wentz just
And
threw
what are you
26.
going to
It's less
say
than
when
two a
that
game.
happens?
I'm going to say congrats. You're a round one exit.
It's not. They're not going to be around when exit.
I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised if they don't make the playoffs still.
You know,
Because
I'm just
Tennessee's going to
Col-
win
like,
the division.
Why the Colts, bro? Like, I
When the
understand
Col-
you love
because Matt Ryan is there. That's why,
But, bro,
yeah,
like,
100%.
why are you putting all of your
100%.
chips on this 30-year-old
You don't understand the
quarterback?
competitor that Matt Ryan is like I do. You don't.
You
That's-
have a personal connection? You guys have a personal
I've seen
relationship?
stories, and that's why I have that connection with him. Now he's a competitor. He's fierce.
Yes.
And when the Colts
I'm not doubting
exceed,
that.
when the Colts exceed
a lot
all,
of competitors in the NFL,
when the
believe it
Colts
or not.
exceed all your expectations, when you sleep, I hope there's a floating image of me just smiling.
12-5. 12-5.
Listen, they get Jarvis, we can have a
What are we putting
conversation.
on this? What are we putting on this 12-5?
For
bet?
real, I'm interested because I
Let
want
the,
parts
let,
in this.
let the audience decide the wager.
Let us know. Let us know what me and Drew will be getting. Please let us know what we'll be getting when the Colts don't win 12 games. No team in the AFC won 12 games last year.
That's a lie.
The Titans were 11 and the Titans were the number 1 seed with 11 wins. 12's a crazy number, bro. It's a crazy number.
Well, then,
the
goddamn it,
NFC?
the Colts are going to be the first.
How many games did the Packers win?
13?
Okay. I
In
got
this new 17-game format, the Colts will be the first team to win 12 games then.
it. The Colts are going to have the best record in the AFC.
They
It's
can.
more or less what you're saying.
I mean, it's not crazy.
Bro, it's pretty nuts.
It's not crazy.
They have to go perfect in their division. They can't lose a game.
They can do that.
All right,
They're not
are,
sweeping the
Are
Titans.
the Colts going to be better than the Titans? I'm assuming your answer is
Yes.
Okay, Kansas City,
Yes.
Buffalo.
No.
Okay, 2 teams had 12 last year. Tennessee and Kansas City both had 12. Okay, Buffalo. Yes or no?
I said no. They won't be better.
Okay, Cincinnati,
They will be better.
Las Vegas.
They will be better.
Okay, Miami,
They will be better.
the Chargers,
They won't be better.
Cleveland.
They will be better.
Oof,
Did you say Denver?
I haven't said them yet. Baltimore,
They will be better.
Denver,
They will be better.
insane.
The Colts will be the third best team in the AFC behind the Bills and the Chargers.
Insane.
Colts and Matt Ryan are going to be better than the Browns and Deshaun, the Ravens and Lamar.
Well, Browns and Deshaun, he's
It's a
gonna
TBD.
be
It's a-
suspended.
it's a TBD.
he's going to get
He's
suspended.
going to be
Most
suspended.
likely, it's a TBD. I'm just saying.
The Raiders, I don't trust their defense. The Broncos,
We're
just
gonna
don't
be
trust
amazing.
you.
We're gonna be amazing. No way around it. We're
You
gonna
have
be
a, you
flat
have
out
a
amazing.
much. I would smash the Broncos having better odds to get 12 wins than the Colts.
Titans, I mean, no, not Titans. Colts will win 12 games this upcoming season and will be a top 3 seed in the AFC.
And they might lose round 1 to the Broncos in the playoffs.
Well, you said it's random. I wouldn't doubt it.